I hope you're feeling very excited after lunch, right? So my name is Lina, and when I was a kid, I used to believe that I'm a superhero. I really believed that. You see, I was raised in Jordan, the Middle East, and every time I used to go outside to play soccer with boys, they used to bully me, beat me up, chase me, throw rocks at me until I go back home. My mother even told me one time, "Enough, Lina, stop going outside." But I'm stubborn, right? It's not a good solution for me. I had to find a better solution. So I decided to become a superhero. And in order to become a superhero, you need to design a superhero costume. I believed it would give me superpowers and I would beat up those bullies. Of course, that's what happened when you watch a lot of DC comics. Do you watch a lot of comics here? You can raise your hand if you're a big fan of superheroes. Yeah, I used to be, I'm still obsessed. Anyway, so I stood in front of the mirror and I was thinking about my costume. Should I go with Superman costume? But Superman wears the yoga leggings on, and on top of it, he wears the red underwear. So I'm like, it doesn't gonna work, because if I'm wearing the leggings on, it's too hot in the Middle East. I'm gonna sweat before I even reach the bad guys. Second, my underwear is not, it has butterflies on it because I was young. I'm like, no, it's a bad idea. I should do my own costume. So it was so easy. I got a shirt on, t-shirt, I took the cover out of the bed, wrapped it around my neck, I sneaked to my mother's room, opened the drawer, stole her socks, and put it on my head. I was so ready. I went outside and stood in front of the boys. I said, "Hey, idiots!" I know what you're thinking. That was a bad idea, right? First, there was complete silence, and they looked at me like this. Second, they burst into laughter, and I'm like, "What are you thinking? What are you laughing about?" And they're like, "Who do you think you are?" In my head, I forgot to give myself a name. I'm like, shit, I forgot that part. I'm like, think fast. Batwoman. And they're like, "There's no such thing called Batwoman." I'm like, "There's one right now, and I'm gonna beat you up in a second, all of you." They pushed me, I fell on the ground. It was so easy. I stood up, and I was ready to fight. But you know it's a bad fight when you close your eyes and do like this. That's what I did. I got beaten up again. I went back home, really embarrassed, opened the door, and I saw my mom. And she's like, "Lina, have you seen my socks?" And I'm like, it was dark. I got beaten up again. So after a week, I heard my parents talking about enrolling me in Taekwondo school. And me and my siblings. And of course, I was jumping up and down on my bed, so excited. So my mother took us second day to try class. And my siblings, my brother and sister, they started complaining. They're like, "Oh, it smells bad here. We don't like it." I'm like, looked at them. I'm like, "I'm gonna kill you both. Just shut up. I like it here." So the moment my feet touched the Taekwondo mat, I felt home. I felt I belong. Now I can learn how to fight. I was dedicated in training. I was going there every single day. I was focused in training that I forgot about the bullies. They even got bored and asked my brother, "Is Lina gonna get outside anytime soon? We're bored. We want someone to bully." Of course, they had to find someone else. I was busy. I did not have time for them. So I was training really hard, and I got the black belt 3 Dan. Do you know the 3 Dan? It's like the 3rd level in Taekwondo. I know Muay Thai is Thailand, but Taekwondo is like South Korea. So I was big. Of course, I was a huge fan of Taekwondo when all started. And then I got my black belt 3 Dan. I won 20 gold medals, 3 of them international. I was the best. I was a champion in my weight. And my goal, my dream was to compete at the Olympics. But life had different plans for me. I got injured in my knee badly, and I had to do operation. And the moment I remember when I opened my eyes after the operation, I saw the doctor's ugly, big, round face looking at me. And he said, "Why did you do this to yourself?" I could not answer. I was drugged. Then he left. After 5 minutes, my father came, and he's like, "Listen, Lina, if I ever hear you talking about joining any martial arts or Taekwondo, I'm gonna kill you myself." And he left. I'm like, wow, what a good way to say how you're feeling, Lina. Are you okay after the surgery? But that's life, right? So I could not believe it, that this is happening for me. I thought that hard work really gets you to what you want. But that wasn't the case. I got injured. I cannot go back to training anymore. Even the doctor told me, forget about martial arts, find something else. And I was so bad at other things. What can I do? I can't do anything else but fighting. So I was so depressed. I stayed in bed for 21 days, and I even thought that my friends who were my friends, they never show up when I got injured. You actually know that they are your true friends when you have the weakest, when you are rock bottom, when you reach that, when you need them, but they're not there. Well, they're not true friends. And one day I had a visit from my Taekwondo coach and mentor. And he said the most positive thing of all the other people. He said, it's a good practice for patience. And I said, what patience? I hate that bed, I hate that ceiling, I hate that, I cannot even go to the bathroom by myself. I hate it. And he listened to me complaining and whining. And he said, it's a good practice for patience. And he tapped on my shoulder and left. And I was completely alone with my thoughts. What can I do now? There's absolutely nothing I can do. I need years to heal. And I was being left alone. What can I do in order to keep going? So there was a voice inside of me that told me, don't worry, take it day by day. Don't worry about the future, just heal. Take your time. And I did, I listened to that voice. I had no other option. So I started healing, I started swimming, walking, then running and cycling. I was getting better. And after a few years later, when I was in college, my friend came to class with bruises covering her face. When I asked her what's wrong, she said that she was abused by her brother and father. When I told her to stand up for herself, and she said, let's face it, Lina, women are weak. We cannot stand up for ourselves. And I said, I don't believe in that. And I had enough at that time. I had enough from violence and gender inequality. So I said, I'm going to do something. I'm going to start training women self-defense at the basement of my parents' house. And I did. And I started training them not just physically, but psychologically to stand up against all the obstacles in life. Later on, my father told me, come here, Lina, you're using the basement for the training. You need to leave, you and the clients. I'm like, fine. So in 2012, I launched my first and only self-defense studio in the Middle East for women, She Fighter. And everyone at that time told me, it's not gonna work. Women are not interested in martial arts. You'll fail. But I proved them wrong. After a few years, She Fighter became more successful. The first 2 years in the She Fighter business, I realized I was training by myself. And I came up with this concept called She Fighter. It doesn't exist at any other place. It's not like Taekwondo or boxing or Muay Thai. It's a combination between different arts and self-defense movements that I invented in order to fit and customize women only. So we have a lot of self-defense techniques for like chokehold, ground attacks, multiple attacks, guns, weapons, training, martial arts. It's all included. So I did the best decision at that time. I created the training of trainers level system. So this is the level systems. We certify trainers in 5 levels. They go through the level system one by one, and they have to pass it, of course. And from that time, we certified more than 500 trainers globally. And we've provided, of course, with the help of the trainers, we've provided a lot of seminars internationally in more than 35 countries and empowered more than 18,000 women globally. This is in Hong Kong. You can see there is a man so happy I let him in. You can see him there. He's like, yeah, I'm a She Fighter. I'm like, you're a man, you know? It's okay, you can join. We provided in Portugal. We've been to countries all over the world. And it's Holland. You can see there's so many men here, even though it's called She Fighter, but the men wanted to learn more than the women. I'm like, fine, they can join. Of course, I faced a lot of challenges. You have to know something. I know most of you are entrepreneurs, but you're gonna face a lot of challenges when you start growing your business, not just starting. Because when you're starting, nobody cares about you. Who knows you? Who knows your app, or who are you? Then when you start growing, oh, you're a threat. Either you cooperate with us or we let you out of the market. I faced a lot of threats, a lot of problems that I was thinking seriously to stop it sometimes. But then I said, every single day, I asked myself, why did I start from the first place? I ask myself, I talk to myself, I say, Lina, why did you start this movement from the first place? To help women stand up against injustice and inequality, and to also learn how to defend themselves. and you are making it changes, but of course there is a lot of obstacles in your way. Last year is one of the obstacles. I was flying to Turkey, Istanbul. I had a seminar. My flight was late, and I landed after midnight. I was exhausted. And the moment I entered the hotel, the guy on the reception, you can tell his face is like he did not like me. So I did not care. It was a 4-star hotel, and I just wanted to rest. So second day, I have a seminar. So he said, you have a problem in your booking. And I'm like, what problem? I told him, can we fix it tomorrow? And he said, no, the organizer has to come right now. I'm like, it's too late. They cannot come. And I told him, what about tonight? Is it fixed? He said, it's fine tonight, but like for the rest of the night. I'm like, fine, we fix it tomorrow. He took the key, put it in his pocket. I'm like, what an ass, you know, in my head. I'm like, okay, fine, I'm gonna call the organizers. I called them, I'm like, fine, talk to him in Turkish. I don't speak Turkish, I just want to sleep. And they talked to him, and he agreed to give me the key, and he gave it out of his pocket like this. I'm like, seriously? Then the second day, they came and we fixed the problem. I went to provide the seminar, and I came back with a friend of mine who was Asian from China. We wanted, you know, to wash a little bit and go check attractions in Istanbul. And he saw us going inside the hotel, and he said, hey, your friend is not allowed to enter the hotel. I'm like, what? Excuse me? And he said, your friend is not allowed to enter the hotel. That was last year, yeah? We're not talking about 1990. And in my head, he's racist. He's just being racist. I'm like, is this really happening in real life? Another big bully, you know, I have to face? And I said, hey, I need to talk to your manager. Give me your manager right now. And he said, I'm the manager. I'm like, you're not a manager. Give me your manager right now. So he got a big ruler out of his office, came and faced me to hit me with the ruler on my head. I know what you're thinking. Is this a hotel? It's like, it needs to be shut down, right? In my head, I was like, is he fucking serious? Second thing in my head, I was getting ready for a fight. It's like, are you ready? Are you ready? Fight! That's like the illusion in my head. So what I did, I'm like, I'm not gonna let that, you know, guy mess up my day. So he came really fast and he said, get the fuck out of my hotel right now. I don't even know your gender. I'm like, I stood like this. I'm like, I gave you my passport yesterday. You did not read if I'm a male or a female. It's your job. I'm not gonna do your job. And he starts saying, get the fuck out or I'm gonna beat you up. I'm like, I wanna see you try. I exactly stood like this. I did not move an inch. He was so close, like this. And he kept saying, get the fuck out. Let's take it to the street. And you know why he said, let's take it to the street? Because there's no cameras. And he wants to get away with it. And I spent in this situation 15 minutes fighting each other, and I did not move an inch. Then my friend, she's like, Lina, let's leave the hotel right now. I'm like, yeah, it looks like it's not safe. So I went upstairs, grabbed my stuff, and as I was leaving, he felt that he won. So he chased me to complete the fight in the street. His colleagues were numb. They're used to it. I'm like, what is this? Is this a hotel or a fight club? They're used to it. They're like this, you know, poker face. They did not even interfere. Like he is holding something in his hand. So he kept looking at me. I looked at him back, you know, like as I was walking. And he's like, I'm gonna continue this fight in the street. Who do you think you are? I'm like, I'm not gonna talk to him. Keep calm. And it's good in this situation you talk to yourself. Like, don't make any move. Keep calm. Breathe. Just, it's okay. It's okay, Lina. Don't really lose it. It helps. Eventually, he was stopped by the security guard from going outside. When I was outside, I had a lot of things going in my head. Should I report to the police? But they speak Turkish. How can I report the assault? I don't even speak Turkish. I'm like, what can I do to solve this problem? So what I did is I remembered I have feminist friends who live in Istanbul. So I contacted them. They all came at that night. We contacted the Ministry of Tourism in Istanbul, and they issued a warning the second day to the hotel, fired the guy on the reception. And I did not have enough from that. I did an online campaign, so people post review on TripAdvisor, Booking.com, and Google. We posted more than 100 reviews. It affected their stars, and TripAdvisor stopped even taking reviews. They were affected badly. I got a phone call as well from like a lawyer in Turkey. He said, Lina, you can sue them. You can easily sue them. I'm like, wait a second, do I want to really damage more? I did enough damage. So I decided to stop. And that's how you know when you have a voice, you actually fight against anybody who has a problem with themselves or the community they're in, but you have to learn when you want to stop. Because it's a waste of energy at the end. It's a bad energy, bad vibe. So in life, you're going to face challenges. And I feel like life is like a heartbeat, exactly. I don't understand people talking about stable life. There is no such a thing called stable life. It's like a heartbeat. You're going to go up, you're going to have success, you're going to have happiness, you're going to have ultimate happiness and success, and you're going to fall. What are you going to, it shows how powerful you are if you rise in that situation, not there. There, everyone wants to be friends with you. But here, you're left alone. Are you going to rise? And it shows your character. So it's exactly like this. It's like a heartbeat, ups and downs all the time. It doesn't matter your age or if you had enough from the problems, you're going to keep facing them all over again. And it's going to, believe me, and you're going to get stronger. You just have to keep moving on. We have great achievements other than the problems. One of them, I got mentioned by President Barack Obama in his speech in 2015. He said, Lina is a leader of social change. You can find the speech online on YouTube. But my father has a different opinion. Lina is a big troublemaker. Well, you can, yeah, well, it's, you can agree with my father or Barack Obama. It's up to you. I have trained Emma Watson not to use her wand to hit people. I told her, listen, Emma Watson, do you know her Harry Potter? Yeah, so I give her also training in self-defense. She want to use it against someone maybe, I don't know. And I have won this year the ESPN Inspire, do you know the ESP's awards, the one for sports? The ESPN Inspire Humanitarian Award, and it was presented by UFC and ESPN in Los Angeles. And last award, I got an award from Hillary Clinton last year called the Economic Empowerment Award. But you can see her hand. I did not do this thing to her hand. It's not me. I don't know what happened to her. Ladies and gentlemen, when I was a kid, I thought that having a costume on will give me superpowers. But I realized the only power we have lies within us. Once you discover it, you become an unstoppable force. Thank you so much.